Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. We have arrived on the southern continent, and now it's time to make our way towards the Magitek Research Facility in Vector, which is right here in the center. We have a couple of jokers who are nuisances. If you give them the chance to, they will spam acid rain against you, which is a big pain in the ass. Somehow I get the impression that they're not going to be able to, especially not with multi-target Thundaras going down. Ooh, Locke, you're finally making yourself so useful. I did learn a couple of spells off screen. I went up into the forest north of Vector just to grind out some magic points so that we could learn things like Cura, second level cure spell, Thunder and Thundara from Rama. And as an added benefit, we also got a little bit leveled up. So we're a little bit closer to where we need to be. So this old man is a returner sympathizer. The other folks in this town, they're not so willing to help. There's one woman who, if you tell her that you're a returner, she will summon a couple of guards to fight you if you beat them. She will offer you healing services for free for the rest of the game. And then the guy in the inn, that innkeeper, if you try to sleep in his inn, he will rob you in the middle of the night. So the old man is going to distract the guards. He's acting drunk, so he's pulling a little bit of that old Wei Shen magic. Oh, he's doing the exact Wei Shen trick. That is how you fast talk guards. But that allows us to get past. And we can go into the Magitek Research Facility proper. Oh, and since I mentioned picking up Thundara, I started looking into the spell naming conventions. There's a Final Fantasy tradition, if you don't know, that the weakest tiers of spells are just the names of the spell without any kind of suffix. Like Thunder, for instance. Then the higher level versions of the spell have things like Aura or Aga, or in some cases even Aja, added on as a suffix. This apparently had to do with character limitations back in the NES days. In Japanese, it was easier to denote second and third tier spells with the equivalents of like Aura and Aga, and so on, to conserve space in the spell name, because that was a concern. Whereas when these spells got translated in the older Final Fantasies, they would be like Ice 1, Ice 2, Ice 3, all one word, for a total of 4 characters, instead of Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, which take up a lot of space. But eventually, since the space limitations weren't a thing anymore, post-NES, that wasn't the primary reason to keep that up, but it just kind of became tradition in Japan. So they kept doing it. Meanwhile, the Super Nintendo Final Fantasies and Final Fantasy VII kept with the numbered tiers in English. And where the English versions of the Final Fantasy series games started using Aura and Aga was in Final Fantasy VIII, because that game has the limited supplies of magic. So to avoid the confusion of having like 3 Fire 2s or something like that, they adopted Fyra and Fyraga and all that stuff. And then that kind of just became the way of things from then on. And since we're using essentially a newer translation, the GBA translation for this Super Nintendo version of Final Fantasy VI, we're seeing things like Thundara instead of Bolt 2, which it would have originally been called in the original release. And maybe it's just because I played Final Fantasy in such a weird order when I was a kid. Like, my first one was Final Fantasy VIII. And I kind of worked my way backwards from there. But I've always liked the auras and agas and stuff. I think it gives the spells kind of this ethereal feel. Like a less mechanical, less mathematical, and more ethereal, magical feel. Oh, also Sandfox pointed out something really interesting that I never knew before. Occasionally you'll see Edgar put on the hockey mask when he swings the chainsaw around, Like, that's obviously a reference to Jason, right? But what I didn't know is that he does that whenever the chainsaw triggers its instant death attack. So the difference between the drill and the chainsaw is the chainsaw can cause instant death. But since a lot of enemies can't be instant killed, that will miss whenever it comes up, and it seems to trigger about 25% of the time. So both the drill and the chainsaw have defense-piercing properties, but I think the drill is slightly weaker overall. But against death-immune enemies, I think the math should work out to the drill being slightly better on average because of the miss rate of the chainsaw with instant death. I'm not quite 100% sure about that, though. It might still work out. The math still might work out so that the chainsaw is just straight up always better. I'm not sure. If someone wants to do the math, I don't know the exact attack rating of the chainsaw or the drill. But it should be pretty easy to do if you know that. Okay, so I think we want to take this conveyor belt back. I think this should just be a... Oh no, I thought that was a tent. I think this might be the tent. Remedy is really nice because there are a couple of bad status ailments. The Thunderblade's real nice to pick up though. So I think the conveyor belt with the Magitek armors is the way forward. So we don't want to go that way just yet. Instead, we'll come up here. And this should take us around. Is this a way we could have just gone straight away? No, not quite. It's nice, there's a couple extra level ups. So we're just doing our best to make sure that anything nasty... I knew there was 10 in here. Anything nasty that comes up, we just deal with as quickly as possible. Oh, and these guys are nothing. These are some of the weakest enemies. Oh, and you can see there's still that kind of vestige of character limitations a little bit. Because given enough time, like most of the enemies that you can fight in this dungeon can really fuck you up if you let them. So best bet, even with some of the upcoming bosses, blitz them. Go hard aggro. Think against these two. Ooh, no. Okay, that's not too bad. It's their other attack that's really scary. That should kill one. And then... Oh, no, it got it off. It got an attack in. That's the bad one. Some of them also have really bad status ailments, too. Like, I think one of them has an acid rain-like variant. There's some confusion going on in here. That's just high multi-target damage to the whole party, though. And if you let both of them get it off, yeesh. You will be hurting. There's still one enemy type in here. No, there are a couple that I haven't run into yet. Which I'm kind of surprised by. Is there anything up here? No, I can't grab onto the crane arm. Oh shit, not you two again. Oh, and they're not even... I can't even AoE them if I wanted to. Might be better to just single target them down anyway. Aura Cannon's gonna kill one, Chainsaw might kill one, Thundara's probably gonna kill one. Oh yeah, even from Locke. Even Locke's Thundara is really, really good as a single target spell. Whew, shit. Yeah, so rule of thumb, if it's in any way vaguely robotic looking, defend the Golden Shield, good. It's probably weak to lightning. Oh, and we're back where we started, good. Okay, so this means I just have to find my way back to the main conveyor belt room. Which means I probably want to loop back down south. And this should put me where I need to be. Cool, okay. I was worried I would get a little bit lost in this dungeon. And this is kind of our first for real Z dungeon. Full-fledged one, anyway. But it's not too complex. Man, coming off of, like, FF15 and FF13 before that, the idea of an actual open, explorable dungeon? Crazy talk. Man, I love that synthesized laugh so much. Oh, and who is that? You've been completely drained of your powers. So we can presume it's some kind of Esper. Certainly doesn't look human. And you can probably take a pretty good educated guess as to which Esper that is. And the one accompanying her. Every time Kefka is presented to you, he's doing something deplorable. They're so consistent about his character, even if that character is a little bit one-dimensional. So easy to hate Kefka. It should be good enough. Okay. Yeah, Onion Knight's real weak. Wasn't sure if they were quite that weak. Now let's go find out where Kefka dumped those two Espers. Holy shit, it's a dungeon full of skeletons. Esper skeletons! So we can't talk to the blue-skinned one, but that one didn't like being approached. It's Ifrit. So then it follows that the other one is probably Shiva. Ifrit and Shiva are probably two of the most recurring Final Fantasy summons in the whole series. Oh shit, what am I doing? I have Blizzard on her. Ooh, Aura Cannon doesn't work on him. Is he, like, heavily magic resistant to anything but, like, ice elementals? Well, that did it. If you beat down Ifrit fast enough, Shiva will not join in. Otherwise, you kind of have to fight both of them. Also, if you hit him with enough spells, I remember that he uses Firaga on you, which is the 3rd tier fire magic, and it hurts so bad. Especially if you're not rocking Reflect or Reflect Rings. Suplex does not work, so let's just keep up with the Blizzard and the Chainsaw, and we can even mug him if we want. Really, this last Chainsaw should be enough, yeah. It doesn't take a whole lot to just burn Ifrit down, no pun intended. And he realizes that you are equipped with Rama's power, so the Espers have willingly joined you. So maybe he has no reason to fight you. He was just really defensive in the first place. Also, I just want to say that I fucking despise the design of Shiva and Ifrit in this game. Even though her design is somewhat accurate to a myth about Shiva churning the ocean to drink up poison that would wipe out all life on Earth, and holding it in his or her throat, which turned Shiva purple. Oh man! Oh, Flans! Hey, was wondering when we were finally gonna run into them. So it's slightly accurate to the mythological Shiva, but I still just think it looks so bad, especially with green hair. Still, they do what you would expect. They Hellfire, they Diamond Dust, and they give you access to Fire and Ice magic. Especially 2nd level Fire and Ice magic at that. Shiva, of course, is one of the principal Hindu gods, the god of destruction, and Ifrit is a jinn, or genie in Arabic myth, I think. There's actually a really great post, I've been meaning to bring this up, that I will put in the description that catalogs a lot of Final Fantasy's mythological influences, of which there are legion. There are so many. So we're gonna get everybody equipped. I don't think I'm gonna take Siren off of Sabin, just because he'll get a little bit more HP out of his level ups with Siren on, and I can't think of anything that I really want to teach him from the others, but I do want to make sure that I have Shiva and Ifrit equipped along with Siren, and we can keep Rama around because Rama will offer us a nice bevy of offensive options. I don't think there's anything in here. I do believe we may have missed one weapon, but we can live without it. Oh, cool, trappers. I think these guys cast either level 3 or level 5 death. But let's see if we can avoid that being cast at all. That would be for the best. Yeah. That works. That works pretty well. And as we make our way up to the top of the facility for the other Espers, I think this is where we will start encountering some other new enemies. No, just more trappers. There are a couple things up here, like I think there is in this facility. Oh shit, there it is. Oh, it's level 5 death. And Locke is the only character whose level is a multiple of 5 right now. Everyone else must be either 19 or 21. I think Locke is my only level 20. Like I was saying, there is a variant of the Belmodar enemy. The Bermermer? God, I went all Medea on that. The Belmodar enemy. Hey, we're gonna see some Hellfire. That's the Ifrit design that I kind of like. I think it's really just that it changes the tone of his skin. Like the whole tint of the screen changes it, how it looks. That, I think, looks fine. I don't like green Ifrit. Yeah, they're a variant of the Belmodar enemy. God, why do I keep saying it like that? It's driving me insane. Belmodar, called the Destroyer, which works in a pretty similar way, I want to say. Oh, General. Again, some palette swap type enemies that can be dangerous if you let them. But we are definitely not going to do that. We're going to get our Thundaras on with Locke and Celeste, and then we have flashes and chainsaws and Rising Phoenixes. Oh my. The Belmodar. God. Really, for as lethal as they can be, you don't get a lot of XP or magic points or gil from them. But this kind of looks like something. Hey, the Belmodar enemies. Yeah, some cooler looking Belmodars, Destroyers. Start off with a Rising Phoenix. We can probably flash them. That'll be fine. Multi-target re-raise. Actually, not sure what that does. Oh, that's probably gonna heal them. My bad, because they are lightning enemies. I think they use a stronger version of Megavolt called Gigavolt. And guarding the rest of the Espers is number 024. This kind of neat-looking cyborg with poorly defined features, but I think that's supposed to make him look less human. Oh shit. Well, Locke got confused. Or, Sabin. So... shit, somebody's gonna have to remedy him. I did stock up on remedies ahead of time, so it's not too bad. He's also dealt a decent amount of damage to us. Well, we've taken a decent amount getting up to him anyway. I know I have these up here somewhere. Antidote, Gold Needle, Ether. Where are my remedies? Did I just pass right by it at the top? I think it, yep. Now... oh, wait. Oh, remedies don't cure confused, do they? Well, that helps. Ooh, botching that one real bad. That's gonna miss because he is instant death immune. But since I don't really remember this fight, something's telling me that he's not that dangerous anyway. So a Curate just to top up. Then we can continue on. He doesn't share some... was that magic immunity or magic protection? Let's see. If this hits like a little puny, piddly attack... Oh, in fact, that did 0. So yeah, that's some kind of magic protection. Because Aura Cannon's all magic damage. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm gonna need to switch to... Oh, I stole a Rune Edge. I'm gonna need to switch to Drill. Because I don't want any more instant death procs on the Chainsaw, because those will all miss and will be here forever. This should also do 0, unless... Okay, I had to test a theory. He doesn't share some of the other properties of the mechanical enemies we've been fighting so far, even though he is a cyborg. Like, he's not particularly weak to lightning. Learn Fire, learn Blizzard, and we got an Ice Brand for beating him. Oh, and look at all this. Look at all these Espers held up in the tubes. Oh, there's some really exciting ones coming up. So they sense that Rama is with you and that Ifrit and Shiva joined up with you, so they're just following suit. Very loyal. And look who it finally is. Speaking of recurring things in Final Fantasy, like Ifrit and Shiva, and the Auras and the Agas and stuff, again, a staple recurring element of Final Fantasy is Cid. Cid is a character. And in this case, he is a researcher working for the Empire in the Magitek Research Facility. That's a lot of Magicite. That's a lot of new Espers that we've gotten in here. 8 in total. Oh, I'm excited. And Professor Cid and General Celeste know each other. In fact, they know each other really, really well, as we're going to come to find out. You came here as a spy. There it is. So everybody's treating Celeste as a spy. But why would you out your spy? I get Kefka doing it. Cid, not so much. Because Kefka's like, okay, it's time to drop the charade, the facade. But Cid just kind of blew her cover. If that's in fact what it was. Celeste seems to genuinely have defected, though. Kefka and Cid thinks that she's spying on them. Celeste has become pretty emotionally involved with all of them, including Locke, who rescued her in the first place. Okay, so you know when you leave the gold saucer in Final Fantasy VII and Cloud starts suspecting Cait Sith is a Shinra spy? And that turns out to be true later on. You find out that he was spying on the Turks. But Cait Sith eventually sides with your party and does the whole heroic sacrifice thing. That originally came from Celeste's planned story arc here in FF6. Celeste actually wasn't even supposed to have much of a key part in the game's story until the game's director, Kitase, took over writing for her. And as she developed as a character, he took more and more of a liking to her, and I think she eventually became his favorite character. And the idea with Final Fantasy VI was supposed to be that Nomura, Sakaguchi, and Kitase would divvy up the characters in the story, and they would each be responsible for writing their background and their roles in the story, and Kitase was going to be responsible for bringing all of that together in a cohesive way. But I think Cid's character turnaround here is so sudden and jarring and poorly done, by the way. But anyway, the reason they did it that way was because there wasn't supposed to be a definitive main character. Like, I think I called Terra the main character, and I still feel that she kind of is. But the intention wasn't that there was going to be a main character. Everybody was going to be a main character in a way. They wanted each character to feel like that. Even though I think Sakaguchi and Kitase would both later go on to agree that they kind of showed a lot more love to their favorite characters, so it wound up feeling more lopsided. So Kefka's coming, Cid is going to shove us off on a minecart, and we are about done with the dungeon, but we have this to go through. We'll talk more about this next time. Hey, Magroder. Let's finish him off. Then we can wrap this one up. So we still have Bolt Scroll for Shadow, who we no longer have with us. Easy enough. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.